Okay, don't cry, don't cry. You're in the video.
Don't go anywhere, you're in the video.
Hey, you brown shirt, guess what? You're in.
Who wants to be in our video? You do, you're in.
Okay, you can be in it too.
You two
You're
over
in the
there.
video. Guess what? You're in. All right,
guys.
Yes.
We are really bad at this.
Yep.
Boy bands are eternal. They'll never truly go away. There may be periods of waning where music trends try to replace it, but the boy bands always bounce back. There will always be an audience. We're constantly replenishing the world supply of youthful, impressionable, mostly girls, just starting to figure out that boys are cute. From the Beatles to the Block to BTS, boy bands will be with us for as long as we keep making music. Yes, the Beatles are a boy band, come at me. One of the many upswings of the boy band came in the late 2000s and early 2010s, and smack dab in the middle of all that, like right in the middle, after the Jonas Brothers but before One Direction, was Big Time Rush, Nickelodeon's attempt at their own official boy band. Taking a cue from the Jonas Brothers and even further back the Monkees, Big Time Rush was a band with a sitcom, a show created by Scott Fellows about the titular group trying to make it in show business while having some wacky adventures with over-the-top characters. It's a well-worn formula here. You use the TV show to promote the music drives audiences to the show, and if you want to pick up a Big Time Rush t-shirt or backpack, we're not going to complain. And it worked. Big Time Rush's first album sold 700,000 copies and was certified gold. The third episode of the TV show reached an amazing 6.8 million viewers. And in 2012, Big Time Rush was voted the best boy band in the world by Parade magazine, beating out One Direction and The Wanted. Of course, to keep that momentum up, you have to have a pretty consistent drip feed of events. Single drops, music videos, live performances. The pop music biz moves fast, and you don't want to get left behind. And when you have a TV show, you should probably take every opportunity to promote as many episodes as possible as special events, even if it's the same half-hour chuckle fest the show always is. Such is the case with the episode we'll be looking at.
Big Time Rush has a new hit single. Now they need a hot new video.
Let's shoot a video.
Saturday, be here to see how they get the perfect shot, the perfect car, and the perfect girl.
Whoever heard of a music video without girls in it?
Don't miss the brand new Big Time Rush special featuring the world premiere music video of City Is Ours. Big Time Video, Saturday at 8:30 on Nick.
Today we're taking a peek at Big Time Video, the 18th episode of Big Time Rush's first season. Premiering on July 31st, 2010, this episode sees Big Time Rush, Kendall, James, Carlos, and Logan getting ready to film their first music video. Their manager wants this to be big, but struggles to find the right director with the right pitch.
The city is ours. We start on the four boys in a car. A pretty, pretty car. Driving.
And
That's as far as they got.
Now, the boys live in a Hollywood hotel, which means a lot of young people coming in with stars in their eyes, hoping to make it, and then after months of trying, crying their eyes out as they leave, having not, in fact, made it. That's the case with Camille, and the boys hate to see her in such a terrible state, so they promise her something they have no power to give.
wait, we can get Camille a part in our music video.
Really? Stall your dad until we get back.
Got it.
Word gets out that the boys are shooting a music video, and soon everyone in the hotel are crying and begging for parts. And these boys, these poor, seemingly identical in personality boys, are such soft touches that they end up promising parts to everybody. Their manager will never agree to any of this, of course, so how will Big Time Rush keep their promises? Stealing and thieving. We'll just grab a few lights and cameras and this director here, and we'll steal Mr. Bitter's new car, and voila! A music video for the song City Is Ours, available wherever Big Time Rush music is sold. And that's about as much as I can play of that song before the copyright bots break my kneecaps. You know, that's a lot of wacky build-ups for what ends up being an incredibly generic music video. kids dancing while the boys make kissy faces while driving a classic car. The song's fine, I don't mind an upbeat teeny bop, but put a little zing in the visuals, guys. Big Time Video was written by Ron Hulsey, who had also worked on Scott Fellow's previous show, Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide, and afterwards would become a writing room fixture for many preschool programs like Sesame Street, Curious George, and Della the Princess Knight. It's the opposite trajectory of the episode's director, Jonathan Judge, who had come out of Nick Jr. shows like Blue's Clues and Lazy Town, then became a mainstay for Nick's non-Dan Schneider sitcoms. Lazy Town is an apt comparison for this show's style, especially how it uses sound. Big Time Rush, the TV show, has just an endless cacophony of cartoon sound effects and musical stings. Finding a truly quiet moment in this show is rare.
The record company wants Big Time Rush's video to be directed by Big Time Rush. It's high concept.
So, what's the concept?
There's a car. A pretty car.
Sure, it's a very cartoony show to begin with, but I don't know, it feels like there's a lack of faith in the humor, that it can't stand on its own unless it's punctuated by a goofy noise. I don't think they need it, because Big Time Rush, or at least this episode in particular, is pretty funny. For as samey as their characters feel, all 4 members of the group have great comedic timing. The supporting cast is fun to watch, and many of the jokes are pretty clever, including those about show business and acting.
We'll just put everybody in the background as extras or something.
Yeah, that is acting, right?
At the end of the episode, on top of making their first music video, the group ends up owning this classy car that they stole. And they play it off as this is going to be the official ride of Big Time Rush. It's the Big Time Rush Mobile. Except the car never shows up again throughout the show's 4-season run. Full disclosure, Big Time Rush was well after my time with Nickelodeon. By 2010, I was long out of high school and far away from the show's target demographic. If I was making a video about Big Time Rush back then, I'd probably slog it off as pop drivel, which was what you were supposed to do with boy bands and similar acts like Justin Bieber, because these things appealed primarily to preteen and early teenage girls, and internalized misogyny says that things for teenage girls are trash. If you were a boy or over the age of 15, you had to hate Twilight. It was the law. This stance would have been very hypocritical of me. I spent much of my youth consuming a lot of Spice Girls and NSYNC and plenty other made-by-committee pop acts aimed at young teenage girls. If I was 10 years younger, I might have gotten into Big Time Rush. I ended up looking up a lot of anecdotal accounts of how popular and well-received this show was, and apparently it was a pretty big deal. For Nickelodeon, it seemed to hold a solid 3rd place on the afternoon sitcom scene, right behind iCarly and Victorious. And from the people I talked to, it seemed there was a solid Pictures in My Locker fanbase. If you want to watch this show, and this episode in specific, you can find it on DVD, or streaming on both Netflix and Paramount+. And if you just want to watch the City Is Ours music video, it's up in its entirety on YouTube. I look forward to exploring this show further when Knacks gets to it in many, many years. But for now, this was just a sample.